Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, December 12th, 2025. Today we will recap last night's Thursday night game, look ahead to Sunday's NFL Week 15 games, college basketball. We'll do that really quick. We'll do Friday's games and then notable Saturday and then Sunday. NBA, NHL, college football, soccer on this day, news and notes, and best bet in Fab 5 to close. We'll start with the NFL. I was way wrong about the game. I had it for best bet. I was all in, but nope. Falcons over the Buccaneers 29-28 as they go to 5-9. Tampa 7-7. Kirk Cousins looked like 2018 Kirk Cousins when he was with the Vikings. Or was it like it was more recent than that? Like 2021? That was his best game as a Falcon. 373 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Kyle Pitts had the game of his life. 166 yards, 3 touchdowns. Mike Evans looked good, but the Bucs are in real trouble now, guys. So we'll see what happens with them. And now Sunday's slate, which is very interesting, of course. There are so many monster games and so many, as Bill Simmons would say, poop-fecta games. So, first up, 1 o'clock on Fox, Browns-Bears from Chicago. My line is the Browns as a 14-point road underdog. Total 45 and 19/20. And it is 7.5, 38.5. I don't know where to go, the over or laying it with the Bears. I like both plays very much. 7-point edge to the over. Or over 7-point edge to the so I have to take the over. I want to lay with the Bears, but the over's the play to take. On CBS, Ravens Bengals. These two teams saw each other on Thanksgiving a couple weeks ago. My line is Ravens by 2, total 52.25, and it is Ravens 2.5, total 51.5. Very, very close. Slight over. So 2 picks, 2 overs. On CBS, Chargers Chiefs. Mine's pick them in 43 7/10, and it's 5.5, 41.5. That is insane. The Chiefs shouldn't be giving 5.5 points to anybody. Like, is Justin Herbert hurt or something? Give me the Chargers getting the point. That is ridiculous. Biggest game of the weekend on CBS. Bills Patriots from New England. My line is Patriots 6.5, total 48 and 9/20, and it is Bills 1.5, total 49.5. I'm taking New England plus the 1.5 and even money outright. The Bills are just not as good as the Patriots this season. The Patriots have been great, and the Bills have not. And New England's home, that crowd's going to be reckless. I get it, revenge and everything, but come on. On Fox, Commanders Giants. My line's Giants by 6, so 48 and 11/20. This has Kenny Albert written all over it. And then it's 2.5 and 46.5. I'm going to lay to 2.5 with the Giants. Only time this year where Big Blue's been favored. No Jaden Daniels, so that's obvious. Also on Fox, Raiders Eagles. My line's Eagles by a whopping 15.5, total 41 and 4/5. And it's 11.5 and 38.5. It was just announced that Kenny Pickett's going to be starting. That's why my line went from 13.5 to 15.5. I'm going to, believe it or not, lay with the Eagles, but I hope I don't see this in Fab 5. CBS, Jets, Jaguars. My line's Jags by a whopping 18, total 46 and 3/10. And it's 13.5 and 41.5. So I have a less than 5-point edge on the over. 4.5-point edge on the Jags. I have to go with the over. Cards Texans on Fox. My line is the Texans by 19, total 43 and 320. It's almost at 13/20. And it is 9.5 and 42.5. I love the Texans minus the points. Love it. I mean, they are top 5 team in the NFL right now. And they have the best defense. We have a lot of 4 o'clock games this week. A total of 5 and doubleheaders on both networks. On CBS, 4:25. This is probably the best game of the 5 in the 4 o'clock window. Packers Broncos. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo on the call. My line is the Broncos by 6 till 42 and 4/5. And Green Bay is favored by 2.5 total 42.5. I know everyone's saying show me game for Bo Nix. Well, the Chiefs wasn't the Chiefs game a show me game for Bo Nix, but then again, the Chiefs, look what they turned out to be. But guess what? Denver's defense, and they're at home. I don't know if I trust Jordan Love on the road in a hostile environment like this, so give me the Broncos plus 2.5 and plus 116 straight up. 4:25 on Fox. Lions Rams. This is Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady. Mine's Rams by 8 total 50 and a 5th. And it is 5.5 and 54.5. I like the under. First under given out today. Panthers Saints. My line is the Panthers 3.5 total 40 and 9/10. It's 2.5 and 40.5. Slight lean Panthers. I will not be in Fab 5. That feels too much of a drop game. On Fox, Titans 49ers. My line is the Niners by 11 total 43 and 13/20. It's 12.5 and 44.5. Slight lean Tennessee, the cover. On CBS, Colts Seahawks, the return of Phillip Rivers. This is so fun. But without Daniel Jones, I have Seahawks 11.5 total 49. And it's 13.5 total 42.5. I like the over. I think that I don't know if the Colt offense will do it, but I think there's a chance the Seahawks offense and maybe even their defense do it by themselves. And last but not least, Sunday Night Football, 8:20 NBC, Vikings Cowboys. Mine's Cowboys 5.5 total 50 and a 10th, and it is 6.5 and 47.5. I like the over. I think the Vikings can put up some points in this spot. So I like the over in that game. Okay, now move on to college basketball. We're doing the order a little bit differently for a Friday. So we'll look back on yesterday and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. Green Bay over IU-Indy 85-75. App State over East Carolina 67-54. Virginia Tech over Western Carolina 96-74. Texas Arlington over Texas Rio Grande 58-50. Number 4 Iowa State over Iowa 66-62. Missouri over Alabama State 85-77. Syracuse over St. Joe 71-63. North Dakota State over Bakersfield 80-69. Well, this was a light college basketball week because of finals, so that's understandable. So 8 games again tonight. 6 o'clock Army UMBC. I have UMBC by 17.5. And it is 7.5 and 146.5. I'm going to lay to 7.5 at the UMBC. 7 o'clock, SC State Queens. I have Queens 20.25. 16.5, 157.5. I'll lay with Queens. True TV, Missouri State Xavier. I have Xavier by 20. 17.5, 149. I'll lay it with Xavier. Maryland Eastern Shore, NCA&T. My line's Eastern Shore by 2.5. It's A&T 7.5, total 129.5. Give me Maryland Eastern Shore plus 7 and a hook. Texas, number 5, UConn, 8 o'clock on Fox. I have UConn by 13. It's 13.5 to 145.5. I'll take the over. East Tennessee State, Austin P. I have East Tennessee State by 1. It's 3.5, 143.5. I'll take Austin P plus the points at home. 8:30 East Texas A&M and McNeese. I have McNeese by 17.75. It's 19.5 and 142.5. I'll take the over. And last but not least, Cal Baptist Eastern Washington at 9 o'clock. My line's Cal Baptist by 4. And it is 3.5 and 152.5. I'm going to take the over. All right, Saturday is busy, of course. 12 o'clock, Big Ten Network, number 9, Michigan State, Penn State, ESPN2, number 17, Arkansas, number 8, 16, Texas Tech, TNT, True TV, Iona, number 22, St. John's from the Garden. ACC Network, Orange Bowl Classic, UMass, Florida State. That is from Sunrise. So that's where the Panthers play. ESPNU, DePaul, Wichita State, South Michigan, Stony Brook, ACC Extra, Yale, Monroe, Miami, 12:30 Old Dominion, George Mason, 1 o'clock Northern Illinois, Elon, Toledo, Robert Morris. On Fox is Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, so Bedlam. 2 o'clock on Peacock, Marquette, number 6, Purdue, C-Dub, SC Upstate, number 14, North Carolina, the Salt Lake Slam, Utah Valley, Santa Barbara, Big Ten Network, Jackson State, Northwestern, True TV and TNT, Providence, Butler, Holiday Hoops Giving, ESPNU, 2 o'clock, Cincinnati, Georgia. Is that from Atlanta? Yeah, it is from State Farm. Evansville, Notre Dame, 2:30 ESPN2, Orange Bowl Classic, George Washington, number 18, Florida, St. Peter's, Georgetown, 3 o'clock, New Orleans, and number 7, Houston, Southern Miss, Ole Miss, Arkansas State, Rice. On Fox, Kansas State, Creighton, ACC Extra, Mercer, Clemson, 3:30 ESPN Memphis at number 11, Louisville, on Peacock, number 23, Nebraska, number 13, Illinois, 4 o'clock Big Ten Network, UC Davis, and Oregon, the Jack Jones Classic, Murray State, Akron. I wonder if that's from Rocket Mortgage. Oh, no, that's from Henderson. That's from Nevada. Utah State, Colorado, ACC Network, Hofstra, Syracuse. 4:30 SEC Network, Holiday Hoops Giving, Chattanooga, number 21, Auburn, True TV, Pitt, Villanova. 5 o'clock Cleveland Hoops Showdown, St. Bonaventure in Ohio, Salt Lake City, Utah State, Illinois State. 5:30 ESPN, number 19, Kansas at NC State. Big Ten Network, 6 o'clock, Southern Utah, Washington. 6:30 SEC Network, Central Arkansas, number 15, Vanderbilt. 7 o'clock Citadel, South Carolina. Jack Jones Classic on TNT and True TV, Arizona State, Santa Clara. CBS Sports Network, Stanford, San Jose State. North Florida, Dayton. 7:30 ESPN, Indiana, Kentucky. 8 o'clock on Fox, number 2, Michigan against Maryland. The Garden State Hardwood Classic, Rutgers, Seton Hall, 8 o'clock Fox Sports 1. That is from Prudential Center, so that's a Seton Hall home game. ESPNU Cleveland Hoops Showdown, Ohio State, West Virginia. San Fran, St. Louis. Compete for Cause Classic, SEC Network. SMU, LSU. 9 o'clock UC Riverside, number 10, BYU. 9:30 ESPN, number 1, Arizona, number 12, Alabama. That's the CF Newton Classic. That is in Birmingham. Jack Jones Classic, Tennessee State, UNLV. 10 o'clock ESPNU, Mississippi State, Utah. Duquesne, Nevada. 11:30 ESPN, number 25, UCLA, number 8, Gonzaga from Seattle. And that's probably at the Kraken's Arena. Yeah, Climate Pledge, yep. And then at midnight, you have Tulane, UC San Diego, and UTEP, Hawaii. Sunday, 12 o'clock, ACC Extra, Maryland Eastern, Virginia Tech, St. Francis Temple. 1 o'clock Eastern, Illinois, number 4, Iowa State. Big Ten Network, Texas Southern, Minnesota. Buffalo, East Carolina. 2 o'clock, Bethune, Missouri on the SEC Network. Merrimack, Vermont. The Hickory Hoops Classic, App State, High Point. Monmouth, Fairfield. Ball State, Campbell. Indiana State, Milwaukee. 2:30 Coppin State, Radford. 3 o'clock Troy, UAB. Big Ten Network, Western Michigan, Iowa. 4 o'clock Florida Gulf Coast, New Mexico. Charlotte, Charleston. 5 o'clock Kent State, Portland. Queens, Wake. Detroit, Mercy, Purdue, Fort Wayne. Chicago State, Loyola, Chicago. 5:30 North Texas, South Alabama. 6 o'clock St. Mary's, Boise State. 7 o'clock SEC Network, Jacksonville, Texas A&M. And 7:30 on Fox Sports 1, Washington State against USC. Okay, now move on to the NBA. We'll go over the results from yesterday, and then we'll look ahead to tonight. And then, obviously, we have the 2 semifinals in the the NBA Cup. All right, Rockets over to Clippers, 115-113 as Rockets come back to beat the Clips. Bucks over to Celtics, 116-101 without Giannis, so the Celtics lose as a big favorite. Pelicans over to Blazers, 143-120, and the Nuggets over to Kings, 136-105. All right, 7 games tonight, 7 o'clock, Bulls, Hornets from Charlotte. My line is the Bulls, 2 3/4. and it is 3 and 229.5. I like the over. NBA TV Hawks Pistons. I have the Pistons by 13, 6.5, 232.5. I'll lay it. Pacers Sixers. I have Sixers 9.5, and it's 7 and 224.5. I'll lay it. Cavs Wizards. My line is Cavs 15. It's 13 and a corner is 15. Total's 245.5. Under. That's way too high of a total. 8 o'clock Jazz Grizzlies. I have Grizzlies 6.5, and it's 7, 242.5. Under. 8 totals in the 240s is almost like an auto under. 8:30 Nets Mavericks. My line's the Mavs by 13. It's 8 and 221.5. I'll lay it with Dallas. And 10 o'clock on NBA TV, T-Wolves and the Warriors. I have the T-Wolves by 2. It's Golden State 1.5 total, 230.5. I'm going to take Minnesota plus 1.5 and plus 102 outright. All right, 2 big games on Saturday. I had to put lines for this. I didn't do totals, though. Saturday, 5:30, Knicks Magic, NBA Cup semifinals. My line's the Knicks by 7. It would have been 3 with Franz Wagner, but no Franz Wagner, so it's 7. And it's 5.5. I didn't do totals. Sorry, guys. 223.5. I'll take the over, even without Franz. And then 9 o'clock on Prime Video, Spurs Thunder. The return of Victor Wembanyama. My line's the Thunder by 8 3/4, and it's 9 and 225.5. That's an over. So I've given out both overs. Oh, the Knicks went down to 5. Ooh. All right, I'm going to change my pick. I'm laying 5 at the Knicks. Knicks went down to 5. So I like it now. So that number literally just moved. So, again, the picks for the NBA Cup. Knicks minus 5 over Orlando. And over 225.5 between the Spurs and the Thunder. All right, Sunday slate. 3 o'clock, Wizards Pacers. 3:30 Hornets Cavs. 6 o'clock Sixers Hawks. Bucks Nets. 7 o'clock Kings T-Wolves. Pelicans Bulls. 8 o'clock Lakers Suns. 9 o'clock Warriors Blazers. Okay, now we'll move on to the NHL. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. I think tonight's light for hockey. Tomorrow I feel like it's going to be a little busy. And Sunday's going to be light. All right, yesterday's results. Sharks over the Leafs 3-2 in OT. Lightning over the Devils 8-4. Isles over the Ducks 5-2. Golden Knights over the Flyers 3-2 OT. Canes over the Capitals 3-2 shootout. Sens over the Jackets 6-3. Habs over the Penguins 4-2. Preds over the Blues 7-2. Wild over the Stars 5-2. Bruins over the Jets 6-3. Oilers over the Red Wings 4-1. Avs over the Panthers 6-2. And the Sabres over the Canucks 3-2. All right, 8 o'clock on ESPN Plus and Hulu, Blackhawks Blues. Blackhawks coming off that win over the Rangers on Wednesday night on TV. Blues are minus 115. The Blackhawks are minus 104. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 134. Unders plus 108. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is minus 265. Blues minus 1.5 plus 210. I'm going to go with the Blackhawks at minus 104. And 9 o'clock, Kraken Mammoth. Mammoth minus 184. Kraken plus 152. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 128. Unders minus 102. Kraken plus 1.5 is minus 168. Mammoth minus 1.5 plus 136. I'm going to go with the under. All right, Saturday. Busy slate. 12:30 NHL Network, Ducks Devils. 2 o'clock, Sens Wild. 3 o'clock, Sharks Pens. 3:30 Lightning Islanders. 7 o'clock, Canadiens Rangers. Oilers Leafs. Canes Flyers. Golden Knights Jackets. Caps Jets. 8 o'clock, Red Wings Blackhawks. Panthers Stars. Preds Avs at 9. And at 10, Flames Kings. And then Sunday, 12:30 NHL Network, Canucks Devils. 3 o'clock, Mammoth Pens. 5 o'clock, Flyers Canes. 6 o'clock, Bruins Wild. 7 o'clock, NHL Network, Oilers Habs. And 8 o'clock, Sabres Kraken. Okay, now we'll move on to soccer. College football, my bad. We have a big game to go over. It's Army-Navy. It's going to be from Baltimore. Navy going for 10 wins. Army going for Army's already bowl eligible. 3 o'clock CBS. Your usual suspects are on the call. My line is Navy by 9, total 52 and 9/20. And it is 6.5 and 38.5. I have to give out the over. That is way too low. I know both teams are run the ball, and it's the narrative about Army Navy's always under. I think this year it's different. Both teams have decent offenses. Navy's offense is lights out. Neither team's defenses are as good as it used to be. So I like over 38.5 minus 105. I would same game parlay. Navy in the over. Navy in the points in the over. And then some FCS games I want to touch on real quick. The quarterfinals, 9 o'clock ESPN, Stephen F. Austin and Montana State. Montana State's giving 15.5, total 54.5. I'll take Stephen F. Austin plus the points. 12 o'clock on ESPN tomorrow afternoon, Villanova, Tarleton State. Tarleton State's giving 12.5, total 53.5. I'll go over on that one. 3:30 ABC, South Dakota, Montana. Montana's giving 7.5, total 59.5. I'll take South Dakota in the points. I think that's a little closer. And then 5 o'clock is Illinois State and UC Davis. UC Davis is giving 2.5, total 58.5. I'll lay the 2.5 with UC Davis. Okay, now we'll move on to soccer. I can't believe I skipped over college football almost. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to the weekend. All right, Europa League. From yesterday, Real Betis over Dynamo Zagreb 3-1. FC Midtjylland over Racing Genk 1-0. Nottingham Forest over FC Utrecht 2-1. Ferencváros over Rangers 2-1. Ludogorets Razorgard and PAOK Slovakia 3-3 draw. Braga over Nice 1-0. Red Star over SK Stromgaz 1-0. VfB Stuttgart over Maccabi 4-1. Young Boys over Lille 1-0. Bologna over Celta Vigo 2-1. AS Roma over Celtic 3-0. Aston Villa over FC Basel 2-1. FC Porto over Malmo FF 2-1. FCSB over Feyenoord 4-3. Lyon over Go Ahead Eagles 2-1. Panathinaikos Victoria Plzen 0-0 draw. SC Freiburg over RP Salzburg 1-0. Fenerbahce over SK Brown 4-0. Conference League. BK Hacken AEK Laranka 1-1 draw. Brita Balik over Shamrock 3-1. Sparta over CSU 2-1. AZ Alkmaar over Drina Jolan 3-0. FC Noah over Liga Warsaw 2-1. Fiorentina over Dynamo 2-1. Real Valenciano over Jagiellania 2-1. KF Shangdija over Slovan 2-0. AEK Athens over Samspor 2-1. Strasbourg over Aberdeen 1-0. Shakhtar over Hamrin 2-0. KUPS and Lausanne Sports 0-0 draw. Lech Ponzin Mainz 1-1 draw. Lincoln Red Imps over Sigma 2-1. Rakow Chistawa over Zertinski Mostar 1-0. Amania Nicosia over Rapid Vienna 1-0. Rikija over NK Celje 3-0. And Crystal Palace over Shelburne 3-0. Women's League, Aston Villa over Liverpool 3-0. And Liga MX first leg, Tigres over Toluca 1-0. And I should have went with Tigres for best bet. I thought about it. And then I saw that Bucks line. We have a final from earlier today. German Bundesliga, FC Union Berlin, RP Leipzig 3-1. Going on now, Real Sociedad Girona, Lecce Pisa, Angers Nantes in the Liga, Bundesliga, and French League 1, respectively. French Premier League, PSG Montpellier's going on now. ELC West Brom and Sheffield United's going on now. All right, tomorrow, EPL, 10 o'clock. USA, Chelsea, Everton, NBC Sports Network, Liverpool, Brighton, and Hove, 12:30 on the big NBC. Burnley, Fulham, 3 o'clock. USA, Arsenal, Wolverhampton. La Liga, 8 o'clock. Atletico Madrid, Valencia. 7:15 Mallorca, Elche, 12:30 Barcelona, Osasuna. Getafe, Espanyol, 3. Bundesliga, 9:30. Borussia, VfL Wolfsburg, Frankfurt, Augsburg, St. Pauli, Heidenheim, Hoffenheim, Hamburg, and 12:30 Bayer Leverkusen, FC Cologne. Serie A, 9 o'clock. Torino, Cremonese. Noon on CBS, Parma, Lazio, 2:45 Atalanta, Cagliari. French League 1, 11 o'clock, Rennes, Brest, and 1 o'clock, Metz, PSG, and 3 o'clock, Paris FC, Toulouse. Dutch Eredivisie, 10:30 Telstar, NEC, Nijmegen, 12:45 FC Groningen, FC Volendam, 2 o'clock, PSV, Eindhoven, and Heracles, 3 o'clock, PC Zwolle, and Fortuna. ELC, 7:30 Norwich City, Southampton, Oxford United, Preston, Stoke City, Swansea, 10 o'clock, Birmingham City, Charlton, Atlantic, Coventry, Bristol City, Leicester City, Ipswich, Middlesbrough, Queen's Park, Millwall, Hull City, Portsmouth, Blackburn, and Wrexham, Watford. Women's Super League, Everton, Arsenal at 7 a.m. And the FA Cup in the women's, 7:15, Wolverhampton and Nottingham Forest. Scottish Premiership, 10 o'clock, Dundee United, Motherwell, Livingston, Dundee, and 3 o'clock, Falkirk and Hearts. All right, now Sunday soccer. EPL 9 o'clock NBC Sports Network. Crystal Palace, Man City. Nottingham, Tottenham on Peacock. On USA, Sunderland, Newcastle. Also on Peacock, West Ham, Aston Villa. And 11:30 on USA, Brentford, Leeds. La Liga, 8 o'clock, Sevilla, Real Oviedo. 10:15, Celta Vigo, Athletic Club. 12:30, Levante, Villarreal. And 3 o'clock, Alaves, Real Madrid. Bundesliga, 9:30, FC Freiburg, Borussia. 11:30, Bayern Munich, Mainz. 1:30, Bremen, VfB Stuttgart. Liga MX, 8 o'clock on Sunday night is Toluca and Tigres. Tigres leads 1-0 on aggregate. I think this is going to be the draw, whatever that is. Serie A, 6:30, AC Milan, Sassuolo. 9 o'clock, Fiorentina, Verona. Udinese, Napoli at noon. Genoa, Inter. 2:45, Bologna, Juventus. French League 1, 9 o'clock, Lyon, Le Havre AC. 11:15, Ajax, Lille. Lens, Nice. Strasbourg, Lorient. 2:45, Marseille, AS Monaco. Dutch Eredivisie, 6:15, Sparta, Heerenveen. 8:30, Ajax, Feyenoord. FC 20, Go Ahead Eagles. And 10:45, NEC Breda and FC Utrecht. ASL Marks Glazer got postponed. Women's Super League, Brighton and Hove, Chelsea. 6:55 on ESPN2. Leicester City, London. Man City, Aston Villa. West Ham, Liverpool. And 9:30, Man United, Tottenham. And then there's a lot in Women's FA Cup. We can't have time for that. And then 10 o'clock is Aberdeen and Kilmarnock in Premiership. And then the League Cup is St. Mary's Celtic at 10:30 in Scottish. All right, so there you have it for soccer. Now move on to On This Day, brought to you by All Sports News. So let's see if this is a big one or not, like the last couple. All right, look back at the headlines from December 12th, which is today. 2015, Derrick Henry wins the Heisman. 2015, Bucks and undefeated Warriors start. I remember that. 2015, Penguins fire Mike Johnson and hire Mike Sullivan. 2016, the Rams fire Jeff Fisher. 2023, the Blues fire Craig Berube. 2021, Quinn Ewers transfers to Texas. 2022, Chris Beard arrested for assault, and I think he got fired immediately from Texas after that. 2014, Wisconsin hires Paul Chryst. 2023, Riley Leonard transfers to Notre Dame. 2019, Lamar Jackson sets single-season quarterback rushing record. 2019, David Stern suffers brain hemorrhage, and then he passed away shortly after that. 2022, Cade Cunningham out for the year, and then the Pistons tanked. 2018, the Rays signed Charlie Morton. 2020, Arizona fires Kevin Sumlin. 2023, Justin Herbert out for the year. 2020, LSU upsets number 6 Florida after shoe throw. Oh, that was in college basketball. Because I don't think that was college football. I think that was college basketball. 2023, Royals signed Seth Lugo. 2016, FAU hires Lane Kiffin. 2022, Braves acquire Sean Murphy. Should not be a huge ad for them. 2016, Dodgers re-signed Kenley Jansen. And now they have another catcher, too. Now he's more expendable. Sean Murphy, by the way. 2018, Rangers signed Lance Lim. 2014, Broncos extend Chris Harris Jr. And 2023, the Giants signed Jung-Hoo Lee, the San Francisco Giants. So there you have it for all sports news in history. I ain't going to detail them because of time. Now we'll do news and notes for today. Obviously, there's the fallout of the Pete Alonso to the Orioles thing. Kellen Moore's brother gets the was Washington State head coaching job. He was Missouri's OC. That's Kirby Moore. Bryce Underwood's camp watching hire as Underwood's NIL contract reportedly doesn't have a buyout. Kyle Whittingham is stepping down after 21 years. He had a great career with Utah. UNC fires Freddie Kitchens after 4-8 season. Not surprising. SEC reveals 2026 schedule. Ole Miss hosts Lane Kiffin and LSU in Week 3. Michigan's keeping their athletic director, Ward Manuel, amid search for next football coach. The Heismans will be announced tomorrow. I think it's going to be Fernando Mendoza. The Dodgers may try for Tucker and Skubal. Insiders think Dodgers swinging double move is possible. You can never rule anything out. Exactly. Royals to extend Mikel Garcia 5-year deal with the club option for the 6th year. Chris Morel 1-year deal to the Marlins. So 5 years, $57.5 million for Michael. The Cardinals are open for business. The Mets are all in for Scooble, supposedly. The Mets post a video for Pete Alonso. It was a "Thanks for everything, Pete" caption. The Phillies are practically begging teams to take Nicholas Castellanos' contract off their hands. We talked about this already. Kenny Pickett starting against the Eagles. Ooh, TJ Watt out on Monday night against the Dolphins following surgery on collapsed lung. And he's expected to play this season. Alvin Kamara's out against the Panthers. Brady Cook is starting at quarterback against the Jags. He stunk in that Dolphins game. Flat out stunk. He reminded me of Tommy DeVito in Tommy DeVito's first start against the Jets, ironically enough. Or not first start, but first, And how about this? The Edmonton Oilers are acquiring Tristan Jarry from the Pittsburgh Penguins, as Stuart Skinner's going to Pittsburgh in the deal. That's crazy. Pittsburgh is off to a good start this year. Quinn Hughes is in the trade market. Obviously, the Devils were being talked about as the destination because of the brothers being there. And it's not guaranteed for the Devils, which I agree with that. Steven Stamkos had a 4-goal night against the Blues. Yoshi Yamamoto will be playing in the WBC. Roki Sasaki not expected to play. Before the game, it was reported that Arthur Blank to evaluate the entire football operation at the end of the year. And then they go and win that game. Tom Rizzo gets a $1 million raise as it amends the deal to become the Big Ten's highest paid men's college basketball coach. The T-Wolves are eyeing a Kobe White trade, and the Bucks are weighing a Zach LaVine trade, and the Bulls are interested in Jonathan Kuminga. Hornets unlikely to pursue Chris Paul, as CP's open-minded about potential landing spots and career. Colts QB1 still TBD, as Shane Steichen says Phil Rivers looks good but won't commit to naming him starter. I think he's going to start. That'd be so freaking awesome. Only because of the storyline. Drake Fellows agrees to a minor league deal with the Yankees. We'll see if the Yankees pull the trigger on Bellinger. It was rumored that Boris is pushing for a 7-year deal, and the Yankees want to do 5. We'll see if they bridge that gap. CeeDee Lamb to play on Sunday against the Vikings. Caitlin Clark says that the negotiations are the biggest moment in the history of the WNBA with the negotiations with the CBA, and she could be right. We talked about Victor Wembanyama likely coming back tomorrow against the Thunder. Steph Curry says he feels great after rehab. It looks like he's coming back tonight. And then Zach Edey out at least 4 weeks with a stress reaction in his left ankle. That's brutal for him. All right, so that's it for news and notes. Best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Obviously, yesterday lost with the Falcons. We're going to go a little bit more on Fab 5 this week. But best bet is going to be the Pistons -6.5 against the Hawks. I mean, I know everybody loves the no Trae Young Hawks. But I'm going to do Pistons 6.5 against the Hawks. The Pistons are just on a roll in their home. So there you have it. Fab 5. Now that college football's out of it, we go a little bit more in on these picks for the NFL. So without further ado, here we go. Pick number 1, Texans 9.5 at home against the Cards. I absolutely love it. They're going to win by double digits. They're going to have a defensive touchdown this game too. I love the Texans. Love them. Pick number 2, I'm taking the Chargers in the 5.5 against the Chiefs. Betting against the Chiefs is just a good strategy right now, and I just don't see them winning this game, let alone winning by margin. Can't trust them to win by margin. Pick number 3. I absolutely hate the pick. I hate it. I'm winning 2.5 with the Giants against the Commanders. This is probably the only time the Giants are in the Fab 5 this year. I bet against the Giants in Fab 5, obviously, a bunch of times. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. But I'm actually betting on them here because I think the number's short with Mariota starting. Pick number 4. I am going to take the Broncos of Denver plus 2.5 at home against the Packers. I don't know if I trust Jordan Love in an environment like Mountain High yet in Denver. And then pick number 5. I'm going to go with the total. Just don't know which one I'm going to go with. I can't bet on anything to do with Brady Cook. I'm going to go over 38.5 in the Browns-Bears game. I think that is extremely low. And then underdog outright pick. The ballsy person in me wants to go with the Chargers, but it is still the Chargers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I did a couple weeks ago and parlay 2 home underdogs that I think will win outright. And it's going to get me to plus 332. And those teams are 2 teams that are in prove-it situations at home, both as underdogs, the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos. Plus 332 to both win outright against the Packers and the Bills, respectively. So there you have it for the show. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything. Look at everything come Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.